Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. As the show says, we take your calls and your tweets nightly at 412-575-2600. That's the number of the Bordas and Bordas hotline. We also simulcast on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, which is where we find Andrew Fillipponi tonight after his 2 to 6 shift today on the PM team. So, Pony, how you doing? Happy New Year. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Bob, right back at you. It's always a delight to be with you. All of Pittsburgh wants to know, you left Cook and Joe early today to talk to Mike Tomlin. Did he tell you that Matt Canada would be back? Spill the beans, Bob Pompeani. What reaction did you get from the coach?
The same that you got yesterday at the press conference, Andrew. He's not going to tell you anything right now. He said he thought the offense improved and Matt Canada improved as the year went on. So that was the comment, and I don't expect anything from them. If they're going to make a move, they typically will wait a little bit before they do it. But I guess if you could read into it based on what he said yesterday, you saw the press conference, and made it sound like, and he has a year left on his contract, even though I thought he would be replaced, I got the feeling now that he's going to be retained.
Wow. From the press conference from your one-on-one conversation? What weighed more into it, Bob?
I mean, it's the same thing. I don't think he's, publicly he's going to say what he says, and it wasn't, it was pretty much the same thing that we saw yesterday. And he's, and I believe Mike when he says he's kind of just de-stressing from that season. They fully expected to win the game, and they thought Miami would lose to the Jets, and it didn't happen. And so now business goes on. And so they did their exit interviews yesterday. It was very quiet over there today, and we'll see what happens next. But, I would expect. I mean, you tell me what you heard him talk about him. What did you think?
Well, when I heard encouraging and better, I took that to mean that Matt Canada basically did what Mike Tomlin wanted him to do. That they were going to run more of a conservative offense, play it close to the vest, not try to play to lose, not try to really be aggressive, and win games that way with a great defense. That's how I took that. So to hear you say that, Bob, reinforces what I think, that he'll be back. I mean, I did not get the impression yesterday. There was no curt answer. There was no terse answer. There was nothing that made me say, oh, my God, here's proof that Tomlin is fed up with Mike Tomlin, with Matt Canada. So I'm concerned about that. I think the best move would be to move on. There's a field of candidates. It's vast. Guys with NFL experience as the offensive coordinator that have done really good work. And so, yeah, I get it. They got better as the season went on, but not enough for me to justify keeping Matt Canada as offensive coordinator.
Again, I don't think we're going to hear a decision anytime soon, but if it does happen, if there is a change, you will hear it probably within a week. But, the bottom line is I do think there was a restrictive start to this season, and I think it really hampered Mitch Trubisky, to be honest. And I think it also, led into the first few games of Kenny Pickett. I think those guys, if they had given more freedom to do what they had to do down the field, especially, I think you may have seen better offense. As it was, I understood going in what they tried to do. It didn't work. They got, Watt injured. They had other things happen to them, and all of a sudden, boom, it's 2-6. But they still missed a playoff. When you do that, it's unsuccessful. But, I really believe that this group of young offensive players is going to be well-suited and much further ahead that they went through this experience together. And that includes Connor Hayward. That includes, Jaylen Warren, who's not even in this draft class. It's a pretty good class when you look at it, Andrew, on paper, and guys who stepped up and played. And he wasn't even a draft pick, but he's created a role. Now, if they can add to it, I think you're going to see some results, although the schedule right now looks fairly easy to me at times, but I'm not sure, you never know how it's going to play out for sure.
Well, the offensive line improved, and in part because they were healthy the entire year and they got to play together for all 17 games, which no other offensive line in the NFL was able to do that. So Pat Meyer was brought in by Matt Canada, so I think that's, a feather in Matt Canada's cap that he picked this offensive coordinator. But at the same time, you were 26th in scoring offense. You needed late drives to win games. You have one of the worst offenses in the NFL. The offense ahead of you, Washington, just fired the coordinator. The offense right behind you, Tennessee, just fired its offensive coordinator. I don't think if you brought in a new offensive coordinator, it would stem the tide and ruin Kenny Pickett's development. You got to look at the big picture here. Nothing about Matt Canada's resume convinces me that he's the right guy for the job. Bob, Deontay Johnson just set a dubious record. Most catches without a touchdown. Okay, that's not a good barometer of what kind of offensive coordinator you have. So I'd like to see them move on. I think there's expansive guys out there, a long list of guys that would do a better job than the coordinator the Steelers have now.
But he has 1 year left on a contract. They may factor into this. We'll see. We're going to take a break. We'll expand upon that. We also have some hockey talk coming up as the Penguins away with a big 2 points, even though it looked like they'd start by losing 2 points to a team that they should beat. They came back and they won that game. We'll talk about it and more as we continue right here live on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Don't go away.